Drill Sergeant Vexthera's four eyes widened in what could only be described as absolute terror as she stared at the holographic display. The numbers couldn't be right. They simply couldn't be. "Run the diagnostics again," she hissed to her assistant, Corporal Zith, her mandibles clicking nervously. "The simulation must be malfunctioning." Zith's tentacles danced across the control panel, his bioluminescent patches flickering with anxiety. "I've run it 17 times, Sergeant. The results are consistent." Cadet Marcus Thompson completed the entire Survival Protocol Alpha in 1 hour and 14 minutes. The silence in the observation deck was deafening. Through the reinforced transparasteel windows, they could see the human cadet emerging from the simulation chamber, casually brushing dust off his standard-issue uniform. He looked bored. "That's impossible," wheezed Instructor Kalaven, his respiratory sacs inflating and deflating rapidly. "The Survival Protocol Alpha is designed to take a full week. 7 standard galactic days. We've had cadets from 17 different species attempt it, and the fastest completion time was 4 days, achieved by a Thrakkery warrior caste." Vexthera's claws scraped against the metal railing. The Survival Protocol Alpha was the pride of the Galactic Military Academy's training regimen. It simulated the harshest environments known to civilization, the acid storms of Kepler 438b, the crushing gravity of a neutron star's moon, the sub-zero wastes of the Andromeda sector's outer rim. Each scenario was designed to push cadets to their absolute limits, testing not just physical endurance but mental fortitude, resource management, and tactical thinking. The protocol had been developed over centuries, refined by the greatest military minds in the galaxy. It was supposed to be the ultimate test of a being's readiness for the horrors of deep space combat. And this Deathworlder had treated it like a morning jog. "Sir," Zitha's voice trembled, "the human is requesting permission to attempt the advanced protocols." "Advanced protocols?" Kalaven's voice cracked. "He wants to try the Omega series?" Through the window, Marcus Thompson stood with his hands clasped behind his back, waiting patiently. He was an unremarkable specimen by human standards, average height, brown hair, no visible augmentations or genetic modifications. When he'd first arrived at the academy 3 months ago, the instructors had been curious but not particularly concerned. Earth had recently joined the Galactic Federation, and while their planet had been classified as a death world due to its extreme conditions, the military brass assumed this was merely bureaucratic overcaution. After all, how dangerous could a world with such pleasant-looking inhabitants be? The first warning sign had come during basic physical training. While other cadets struggled with the Academy's standard 1.2 g gravity, Marcus had asked if they could increase it. When they'd raised it to 1.8 g, a level that left most species gasping, he'd commented that it felt almost like home. The second warning sign was during combat training. Marcus had been paired against Th-Kor, a Draknari warrior whose species had evolved on a world where everything tried to kill everything else. The match had lasted exactly 37 seconds. Th-Kor was still in the medical bay. But this was different. The Survival Protocol Alpha wasn't about brute strength or combat prowess. It was about survival instincts, adaptability, and mental resilience. It tested a being's ability to endure prolonged stress, isolation, and resource scarcity. "What exactly did he do in there?" Vexthera asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Zith pulled up the detailed logs, his bioluminescence flickering erratically. "Well, in the acid storm scenario, instead of seeking shelter like every other cadet, he went for a walk. The simulation registered it as recreational activity. When the protocol introduced the carnivorous plants, he apparently ate one." "He ate a Venusian snapdragon?" "According to the logs, he said it tasted like spicy lettuce." Kalaven made a choking sound. "What about the temperature extremes? The psychological warfare protocols?" "The extreme cold scenario registered as mildly uncomfortable. During the heat simulation, the one based on Mercury's surface, he removed his environmental suit and started doing what the database identifies as push-ups." Zith paused, consulting his datapad. "As for the psychological protocols, well, the isolation simulation is designed to break down a subject's mental barriers over several days. The human lasted approximately 12 minutes before he started talking to himself, but not in distress. He was planning a garden. A garden? Apparently, he was mentally designing a vegetable garden for when he returns to Earth. He spent the remainder of the isolation period composing what the translation matrix identifies as a strongly worded letter to his mother about visiting more often. The observation deck fell silent again. In the chamber below, Marcus was now doing what appeared to be stretching exercises. "Sergeant," came a voice from the communications array. It was General Korthak, the Academy's commandant. His tone carried the weight of someone who had just received very disturbing news. "Report to my office immediately. Bring all data on the human cadet." 20 minutes later, Vexthera stood at attention in the general's office, surrounded by the Academy's senior staff. The general, a grizzled veteran of the Centauri Wars, looked like he hadn't slept in days. "I've just finished reviewing the human's homeworld assessment," General Korthak began, his voice grave. "It seems our xenobiologists may have underestimated the classification." He activated a holographic display showing Earth in all its blue and green glory. It looked deceptively peaceful. The initial survey team noted that the planet experiences what they termed mild weather variations, the general continued. What they failed to adequately report was that these mild variations include continent-spanning storms with winds exceeding 200 km per hour, temperature fluctuations of over 100 degrees, and precipitation that can flood entire regions. The assembled officers exchanged nervous glances. Furthermore, the general's voice grew darker. The biological surveys noted diverse wildlife. What they failed to emphasize was that this diverse wildlife includes apex predators weighing several tons, venomous creatures that can kill with a single bite, and microscopic organisms capable of dissolving organic matter. Vexthera felt her respiratory system seize up. "Sir, are you saying?" "I'm saying, Sergeant, that Cadet Thompson represents a species that evolved on a planet where the weather alone would kill most of our finest warriors, where the local fauna makes our most dangerous training simulations look like recreational activities, and where the inhabitants consider all of this perfectly normal." The general paused, letting this sink in. "We're going to need new protocols." Outside the window, Marcus Thompson was asking a passing cadet for directions to the commissary. He mentioned cheerfully, feeling a bit peckish after his light warm-up exercise. The galaxy, it seemed, was about to learn what a death world really produced.